Good afternoon. My name is Steve Janz and welcome to my video series for Advanced Management Accounting. Today we're going to focus on linear programming. We're going to focus on part A of the question, setting up your maximization or minimization formula and your constraint formulas. Let's begin. You've had a chance to take a look at the question, and you will see in the question that our original schedule shows that our profit for the regular is $115. For the special, it's $155, and for collector, it's $200. Now, when you take a look at that information, what you will see is that one of the rows has fixed manufacturing costs of $50. We need to add back that fixed manufacturing cost and take this information and make it our contribution margin. So let's add back $50 for each of these. And then now we will have $165, $205, and $250. Remember, we need to look at these values for the contribution margin. So in this case, our first value is to maximize the amount of revenue, special, and collector that we sell. So we'll take a look at this and we say 165R plus 205 special plus 250 collector. Now that's setting up our maximization equation. The next thing we want to do is we want to look at the constraints. In everything with regards to manufacturing and in life, we have constraints. So we have to make sure that we build into our constraints into the Excel so that we can solve the appropriate amount of volume to produce of these three different types of product. So our first constraint is all about labor hours. And again, you have to read the question very carefully to obtain this information. So we are told that to make a regular product, it's going to take us 20 hours. It's going to take us 34 hours for every special, and it's going to take us 37 hours for every collector. And we have a limit. We can only have a certain amount of hours up to 10,500. That's why this is less than or equal to. The next constraint is machine hours. Again, reading the question very carefully, we have 8R plus 25S plus 22C. And again, this has constraints subject to, basically, less than or equal to 5,100 hours. So we're progressing. We're actually almost there. The next type of constraint that we have to take a look at is the volume. How much can we actually produce? So again, in the special, it tells us that we can produce up to 30 units per month. So S less than or equal to 30. For the collector, it tells us that we can produce and have sales of no more than 50% of the regular keyboard sales. So this one's a little bit tricky. How are we going to write that? And again, the key word there in reading this is 50%. So collector must be less than or equal to, there's that 50% of R. And we'll have to build that into our Excel spreadsheet. Regular, we are told less than or equal to 250 units per month. So again, this is pretty tricky here. The 50% of R, that's how we would write that, and we would build basically an Excel cell that would allow us to basically have that calculation into our solver formula and our solver basically program. Then again, at the end, what we could also do is we can say that S must be greater than or equal to 0, and of course, collector greater than or equal to 0. If you'd like, even though it's going to be in there already, you can say the same thing with regards to R. R greater than or equal to 0. One of the things we always have to be cautious of is that we're using a computer program to solve this. We want to make sure we tell the computer program solver to not use negative values. So anyways, I hope this helps in setting this up. The key takeaways, adding back the fixed manufacturing costs so that you have contribution margin values, and the tricky collector, putting the value as 0.5 of R. Have a good day, everyone.